Page 4, Feelings. This is the first piece in the Alfred Jazz Rock book series. I'm going to state right off the bat, I'm no expert in jazz or rock or blues or any of those styles, although I enjoy them very much. But I will share with you what little I know, and I'll go ahead and go through the book and cover these things. There are other teachers on YouTube who cover jazz and blues and that kind of stuff a lot better than I do. So if you search out, I don't even know how to search for them exactly. I've subscribed to a couple. Look at the subscriptions in my channel of who I've subscribed to, and you'll find a couple of those teachers in there. I think there's a couple. Now in Feelings, I want to go over first the music just to make sure we have the right notes and the rhythms. I'll start with the right hand. They give you a chart, a picture of a keyboard and finger numbers and the note names and all this. And it's really important that you know these without having to look at a chart. There's a note at the top of this page that you're ready for this after page 73 in the Alfred book, Course 1. So if you've made it all the way to page 73 in that book, you should know the names of these notes and the names of the keys on the keyboard by now. I don't feel that I really need to be pointing that out. If you don't know, then I would encourage you to go back and start the Alfred Course 1 book again and go through it at least up to page 73. So it's important that you know that stuff. They're telling you right at the music. I don't look at the chart. I don't use these charts. At the music. Telling you that the middle C is with your thumb. So I'm going to put a thumb on middle C, and then the 2 is on the D, and the 3 is on the D sharp, and the 4 is on the E, and that's sort of my position. The little finger is out here or wherever. So the notes, forget the rhythm, just the notes. You have the C, the D, D sharp, E, and C again. And it looks to me like, for the first line at least, that's all it is. These notes in some pattern or whatever. If you look at the third measure over on the first line, you have 2 C's, and then a D, D sharp, E, C, now a D natural again, and then a C. Same different, right? Second line's a little different. Look at this. You have here you have third finger on E. So you're going to put your second finger on the D sharp, right? Next measure is an F. You just use the fingers that are on those keys. They're not going to give you finger numbers on every note. Now when you get down to line 3, now we got chords going on. You got 2 notes here, a C and a G in the right. Don't know how well you can do this. If you're struggling with this, just play them. Don't worry about it. But if you can put a little more weight on the upper note and play it a little louder than the other, put a little note on here in the E, then the C, and the F, that type of thing, it helps, and it'll prepare you for stuff coming on later on. But if that's a struggle for you, don't worry about it. Just play both notes. That's fine. That takes us back down to the bottom line, which is very similar to the top line. Notes are a little different. I mean, you're using the same notes, it's just the arrangement's a little different. Let's talk rhythm. Simple time, 4/4, or common time, with eighth notes. So we count at 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Quarter note gets a count. 1, this is the first measure. 1 and 2 and 3 and rest and 4 and, I do rest and, you get the idea, I hope. Second measure, 1 and 2 and 3 and rest and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and blah blah blah. And you work it out very carefully that way on the rhythm. Let's talk left hand. Now the left hand, they're telling you at the beginning of this, you're starting out with thumb on this C down here. And then the next one is a 2 on a B flat, and then that makes 3 on the E, the A, excuse me, on the next measure, and then a 4 on the A flat, and then G on, that's sort of your finger position. lovely, ain't it? It's just okay. That's what it is. And they're half notes. So it's like 2 beats to a half note, right? So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Pretty simple. And really it's that way pretty much through the whole piece, except the last measure. You have, on the first line, the measure is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's the first 3 lines are like that. Then the last measure, the last line, the very last, is just 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. When you can do the hands alone and you get the rhythms right and all that's okay, put the hands together like so. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Notice on the 4th beat, the left hand stays down, only the right hand gets a rest. But if you look at the 4th measure there, the last measure of the line, the first line, it's 1 and 2 and. See, the right hand's done, it's resting. Now it's only left hand. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then you keep going. So hopefully that's not too much of a problem. Then when you get all that, you add the dynamics. Starts out soft. That P is soft at the beginning. That's the melody. That's the right hand. The left hand's got to be softer than that. How soft? You decide. I can't even tell you what soft is for sure. You're going to have to decide what is soft to you. Make sure you hear the right hand louder than the left. Like so. And the whole piece, the first 2 lines, excuse me, are soft, and then you get down to the 3rd line, that's an MF. That's medium loud, mezzo forte. So now you're a little loud. You're not loud, you're just sort of loud. And that's the melody, which is the top note in the right hand. 1 and 2 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and then you start out medium loud in the last line, and then you see that long arrow, that decrescendo thing. So you're going to go back down to soft. Now there's not that much difference between soft and medium loud, but you decide. Say in the 2nd measure of the last line, you're starting out medium loud. In the next measure, you go down to medium soft, just a little softer. And then go down to soft in the last measure. So you're kind of getting softer as you go. You have to plan out this getting softer, otherwise you'll get soft too soon. You'll be soft before the 2nd measure, the last line is over, if you don't plan it out. So you have to think about it. Then on top of all that, there's a repeat sign, which means we're going to play it twice. And what I'd like to do now is to check the notes and the rhythms with you. I'm not going to do the dynamics. I don't do dynamics in this play with me part because I just want to check the notes and the rhythms. You do the dynamics, and you can speed it up on your own. The tempo, it says an easy, relaxed tempo. I don't know what that is. What's that to you? What is it? I don't. Maybe it's slower than that. I don't. It's up to everybody. Feels is different. I mean, the title of the piece is right on. It's feelings, and that's what music is about. How do you feel this? Of course, you got to learn it first. You get the notes and all the mechanical stuff. Get that out of the way so you can think about feeling it. That's where the fun starts. After you've learned it mechanically and all that, then, to me, that's where the fun is really. You turn it into music. You feel it. It's an emotional experience, and that's what we're after. So you decide what an easy, relaxed tempo is. It'll be different for everybody. For our play with me thing, I'm going to go slow because I just want us to hear the notes and the rhythms. Play with me so that if you're playing the same note I am, you know you're okay. If you play a different note, you got a wrong note. Figure out what's going on. Or if you didn't play it at the same time I did, then maybe your rhythm's off. So count it out carefully. If you had a teacher, they would tell you if you got it off. The problem is, if you don't have a teacher, how do you know you get it wrong? And that's what the Play With Me is for. Do the Play With Me so you can check to make sure you're getting the notes and the rhythms correct. Now at the bottom of the page there's a note there that you can play this in different ways. You can go faster and slower and louder and softer. And because it's repeated and you play it twice, it's recommended, this is standard, that you change things. You alter things slightly on the repeat. Don't play it twice exactly the same way is what I'm saying. So alter the dynamics. Maybe the second time you play it louder or softer or whatever. In fact, maybe you could even speed it up a little bit on the second time, or experiment with it. Just don't play it twice the same way is what I'm saying, and have fun with it. They're saying 8 VA. So you're playing here. You could change it to here in one hand. Do that on the repeat if you want. Take both hands up. Move here. If you want, or experiment somewhere else. I don't know. You don't have to play everything right there in the middle. You can have fun with it. The idea with jazz is that you're going to improvise and you're going to change things around. You learn what's written first, so that when you change something, you know you changed it. You didn't accidentally change something. Oh, I didn't know that wasn't that way. And that's a mistake. So learn it the way it's written first, and then have fun with it afterward. So here we go. I'm going to give us 4 counts, and let's try this out. Let's put your right hand here. Left hand's here. Oh boy. Okay. 1, 2, and ready, and go. And 1, and 2, and 3, and rest. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. And 4, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2. Rest and rest and. Repeat. Rest and. Rest and. Rest and. Rest and. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 1, and 2, and. Rest and.